Well, howdy YouTube, Unky Joe here, Unky Joe's Playhouse. Today, well, we're going to talk about, the dreaded C word, the illness that is spreading like wildfire around the world. But we're going to just basically go over how my day went yesterday, and I'm going to share that with you. And then what I'm going to try to do is maybe every 2 or 3 days I'll post another update so you just know how we're dealing with things here in the United States and in Texas, and how we're dealing with it just on a personal level, how my family is dealing with it. So I've got a little trip video. We went to the grocery store, and I just wanted to show you what things are like in our little rural community. So I'm going to play that video, and then we'll come back and we'll talk some more. All right, so we're making our way out into the real world, and we're gonna go get some groceries. We're gonna try to stock up as best we can, but just wanted you to see here out in rural Texas, there's no panic going on. In fact, what I'm seeing is people getting outside with their kids and playing, and the schools are all closed until now the middle of April. They're saying now that they could, in theory, close them till the summer, all the way up to summer break, so we'll see. But we're out here in rural Texas, and you can see I don't see much panic going on, and I don't expect to see it. Now, we're in the early stages of this thing, and pardon the dirty windshield, but oh my God, look, there's another car driving. Miracles never cease. Anyway, so we're going to go out and get some food. I'll take some photos of the outside of the store so you can see if there are lines or anything. But we just want to give an idea of, oh, look at the pretty blue bonnets in that field. Wow. That's a lot of blue bonnets. Anyway, and that's a police officer's house, lives right there. Anyway, so we're going to go out, and I'll probably film out in the parking lot to give you an idea of if people are panicking and stuff. It's been about a week. The grocery stores have now put limits on how much you can buy. I think that's a better idea than telling people to, stay out of you can't stay out of the grocery store. You got to have food for your kids. So they've tried to limit people to 50 gatherings of 50 people or less. I don't know what that accomplishes either. People have got to work. People have got to take care of their business. So we're not doing this for the flu either, which just seems a little crazy to me. I mean, the flu has killed already, 55,000 people this year, or since 2019. But anyway, I'll take some more footage when we get to the store. I don't know that I'll take any footage inside. I don't want people yelling at me. I don't want store staff coming up saying I can't film. If I do film anything, it'll be maybe a little snapshot or two of the shelves, what's available and what's not. Because we're really getting limited news as to what's going on in our own community. And I have there's a community page I frequent on Facebook. So I want to be able to report back to the folks back here in my community about how things are out in Seguin. So that's where we're headed now, and I'll pick up the video there. Here we are, downtown Seguin. Enterprise is doing a brisk business. The Church's Fried Chicken seems to be open. We'll see if the county offices are open, but yeah, people are out and about, driving around, doing their thing. So there you go. Doesn't look like the world's come to an end yet. Now, if you stay home and live in your little bubble, whether that's a YouTube bubble, a Facebook bubble, an Instagram bubble, or a TikTok bubble, you might believe the world's coming to an end. I mean, it is. It's going to end eventually, but I don't think it's going to end this month. So there's the churches, and you see they got a few people. I don't know if anybody's inside. Yeah, I see a couple of people inside the store. Now, these are our county offices, and it looks like they've got some. Right down here is our county tax office. Yeah, the tax office will never close. Here's the courthouse right here. Well, the parking for the courthouse. So we get some people at the Bank of America. So, and this is normal, pretty much normal traffic for this time of the day in Seguin. It's not a very big little city. It's pretty though. So for those of you that have never, this is typical old downtown South Texas downtowns. We got a lot of old buildings here. Yeah, you can still see workers up there working. And here's our old courthouse with the world's largest pecan. And, you know, Seguin's kind of a little depressed. It's a low-income kind of city. Let's see, there's a daycare over here. Yeah, here's the daycare. Sugar and Spice. So, and you know what I can't believe is daycare centers, if you don't take your children in, they're still charging you to hold their spot. Isn't that wrong? That's just wrong. You know. Anyway. All right, so we'll take some footage again when we get close to HEB. So here's our hospital, and that's about normal. That parking lot's usually pretty full. There's the emergency room right here that we're driving by, the blue trim on the building. So yeah, it doesn't look like pandemonium. There's not ambulances lined up. Now here's our local HEB. So we'll see. They look busy. I don't see any lines of people standing outside. That's a good sign. My spouse was convinced that we were going to have lines of people. Now there's McDonald's. I don't even think they're open, huh? I don't see them as being open. Maybe. There's nobody parked outside, so I don't know if their drive-thru is open or not. Love your turn signal, honey. And so here's our HEB. No, they don't look any busier than normal. I see people still buying plants, and you missed the turn.
I'll go down this Yeah, no, I missed it.
Yeah, there doesn't look like there's any pandemonium going on here. And this is what I was thinking. You know, you hear all this hype, right? And then you come out and you realize things aren't as bad as they seem. So just park whatever's available, hon.
I'm gonna park right here.
That's fine. So I didn't want to take any video in the store. I just took some photos. There are no long lines, not at this HEB in Seguin. The only thing they were really out of was frozen food like chicken patties, you know, pre-made stuff, fast food fixing. If you cook from scratch, they had chicken, they had beef. They're a little bit low. The main things they're out of is eggs and milk, and they managed to restock that while we were in the store. But you can see people buying like 36 pack of eggs and stuff like that. Like what gets me is people act like there's never going to be eggs again, or never going to be milk again. So eggs and milk were pretty much empty. The bread was, they had a lot of bread left. No English muffins, that kind of thing. You know, just, you know, normal. But there's no crowds, there's no panic, there's nobody joshing elbows and knocking you around. Although I did have one guy bump into me and not say excuse me. But anyway, yeah, so don't be worried. Come out, get your groceries. It's about 11 o'clock in the afternoon. We got here about 10, so, you know, we're doing well. And yeah, there was no waiting, no lines, no nothing. So it's as I figured. It's all hype. The press is trying to scare people for whatever reason. I don't know. Now the next thing we're gonna try to do is go over to McDonald's and get some breakfast. And it looks like the place was dead. I don't see anybody. Oh no, I still don't see anybody in the drive-thru. So, but we'll see. We're headed over there now. See if they closed it or not. That'll be interesting, won't it? Because I want some breakfast. Either that or I have to go home and cook it. Yeah, it looks like the drive-thru's open. So we're going to run by Mickey Don's and get some breakfast, take it home. By the time we sit down to eat it, it'll be ice cold. But that's what a microwave and an oven is for. So, yeah, they're lined up in the drive-thru. So we'll stop and get us some breakfast and go home and eat. All right, I'm gonna cut the video here. So there you go. Yeah, there was no panic. There's plenty of food on the shelves. It's what I figured. The initial panic sets in and people start hoarding things, and then things get back to normal. So fortunately, our infrastructure here in the United States is strong. We've got plenty of food to go around. I have a little problem. I'm a libertarian at heart, and I go by the Constitution, and I believe in personal freedoms. Now, with personal freedoms come responsibility. So whenever I'm told by the government to do anything, it makes me, as an American, kind of bristle. In America, we are the government. The government doesn't dictate to us. We dictate to them. We pay their salaries. They work for us. I'm all for being a good citizen, but I don't want my civil liberties trampled on either. So what we've decided to do, and we're in a unique situation because my spouse is in the grocery industry, and my spouse has to go to work or people don't eat. Their employees still have to go in every day and deal with close contact with other people. Now, I have a respiratory disease, I have heart disease, and I have diabetes. So I'm in the high risk category. So my spouse could bring anything home. So sheltering in place is great, but when my spouse has to go out and earn a living and is exposed to other people and can bring it home to me and to my elderly mother, she's in her early 80s, we have to be very careful. So I'm a good citizen, and I'm going to follow the guidelines that our government has set out for us. But and I'm not trying to poo-poo on the pandemic that is at hand. But I wonder why we didn't have this kind of response to the flu. We've already lost close to 50,000 people this year due to the flu. We've lost a few thousand due to the coronavirus. So, but because I don't have enough knowledge about this virus and how it operates, and I don't think the public health officials know everything either. One day we get to hearing that it affects the elderly more. Then the next day, I just heard yesterday, they're showing in the United States it's starting to affect young people. I'm talking about late teens, early 20s, that it's starting to have an effect on them, that they're being affected as much as the elderly. In Washington State, we've had most of the deaths there are due to deaths in a retirement community where the virus, just kind of got out of hand. So, yes, I want to be a good citizen. Yes, I want to help protect my fellow citizens, but I don't want my rights trampled on. So but for right now, we're doing what we can. We're sheltering in place. We've got plenty of food now. I've just restocked all my mother's medications. I've got Tylenol on hand. I've got ibuprofen on hand. I'm going to have to quit vaping because it's just not something that's a good idea to do. So I'm going to stop that till this, hopefully this passes. So, and it's probably going to take, I would say they're saying, shelter in place for 15 days. I'm thinking it's more going to be like 30 or 60. There are also some reports that you can catch the virus again, a second time. So there's a question as to whether you're going to get immunity from the initial infection. So I just want to encourage people not to panic, shelter in place if you can, stay home, enjoy your time off, and hopefully things will get back to normal, as soon as possible. Now, what I'll do is update every couple of days or so, just, whenever I feel like it, because it helps keep my mind off of what's going on to do videos like this. So I'll just keep you posted as to how things are going here at Uncle Joe's Playhouse and what we're seeing on the news and what we're seeing here locally. And keep in mind, I don't live in a big city. I live outside of a big city, outside of San Antonio, Texas. I'm in a rural area. So my perspective is going to be different than those perspective of people living in the city. Now, all my clients are in the city, and a lot of my friends live in the city. So I'll, any stories I hear, I'll share with you. But the businesses I deal with are now sending their workers home, and we've got them all set up to work remotely. And so my workload has increased a bit. But my clients have been all set up to work from home remotely for years, so it wasn't a big deal getting them over. And that includes their phone systems, because they're VoIP, they can be done over the internet. So hopefully the internet will, because the internet in the United States is not what I would call the best. We got real good internet out here, but in the cities, yeah, they've been, kind of dragging their feet for years. So hopefully our infrastructure will stand up to the onslaught. And it's really funny, because now that all the kids are home, my clients are going, wow, my connection back to the office is really slow. I said, well, are your kids watching Netflix or Disney? And they're like, well, yeah. Are you using wireless? Yeah. Well, there you go. You're going to have to tell your kids to get off Netflix while you're trying to work from home, or plug a cable into your router, and get a better, get better throughput. But yeah, it's funny, you just don't think of these things, because we're used to, we get up in the morning, we get showered, get our food in us, get our kids off to school, and we go to work. Now you're stuck at home with the kids, and I pity parents that are stuck at home with the kids. It can be a not so fun experience, but it is nice to look out the window here and see the kids outside playing basketball and running up and down the streets and having fun and enjoying their time off for school. So there you go, YouTube. We hope you enjoyed this little glimpse inside of our lives here at Uncle Joe's Playhouse in our rural community. So, like I said, I'll keep you updated with videos throughout the week. So, thanks again for coming to see us. Donate if you're so inclined. We could always use your contributions. Our views on YouTube are down right now, and I think that's just due to the season on YouTube. Hopefully I'm still making content y'all want to see. And please come back and see us again. Take care of yourself. Take care of your families. Follow the guidelines. Wash your hands. Keep plenty of food on hand. Have a first aid kit. Be smart. Don't panic. And we'll see all of you on the other side.